I am on Rumble, and I'm also on Twitch. So, there we go. Okay. So, we have done some of this. Now, the fact that I was able to get 90s right away is a very good sign, because sometimes the scoring can be different depending on, oh, if you have your site cached. It's kind of tricky to know exactly what your score is going to be. So it's good that we have 90s across the board right from the beginning, just so it's like, okay, fulfilled that part. And now we can go through all the other stuff. Like, this page should be very, very easy to get. Hundreds. And we'll also go on mobile, make sure we get hundreds on mobile. That's going to be very important for this church, because people are going to drive by it. Maybe they will look it up right then and there on their phones. Okay, so very good. Accessibility, best practice. Yeah, that's all good. So the main thing is like the main page. Most of these pages are gonna be nearly there. So okay, sorry for the silence there. I was just eating, so I don't want to like be chewing while I'm in, in the mic. Yeah, background and foreground colors do not have sufficient contrast. That always happens with these like, especially when the colors fade. It's very, very difficult to call us. Oh yeah, this part, definitely. Mm-hmm. View location map, border, sky. Yeah, all of these. So now here's what we have to do with this stuff. Don't normally go into net into NetLifey. I gotta find this stuff. Here we go. Environment variables. Here we are. .env file. Contents. Okay. So it allows you to do all of it at once, which is really, really nice. And so now all I have to do is find environment dot local. I actually should ask. Normally, like, the tables are in here as well, so I'll just see. Okay, I think just, yeah, whatever. All scopes, okay. You don't need local. Pretty much just need production. Yeah, you don't need anything else, because it's like, if you own the code, which CFB Church will, they will be able to, you know, I'll actually give them everything they need. So this should work. API token, base ID. So I was able to do that. Celebrated fudge. The heck? Is that our name, really? Is that the domain name they gave us? Okay, yep, it is. So celebrated fudge is our domain name. It's our subdomain name. So don't worry, Calvary. If you don't have a domain name, you will be known as Celebrated Fudge. So you better really have your domain name, your .net or whatever you want. I think that would be good. So I don't think people will be looking for your church by the name of Celebrated Fudge. I don't think that's the way to do it. I don't think that's a name you want to keep. So, very good. I think most of these have like the same. Yeah, it's the call us thing. I think most of these have the same issue, which is there's somewhere there's like not enough of a contrast between the text and the background. It's not usually like something to really worry about. What is more upsetting is when there is like some kind of content pane that isn't loading correctly, when there's a bunch of data that's being fetched. Okay, so let's take care of this. The mobile. Some of these might have already been fixed. But let's just go. That's the mobile scoring. Some of these might be been fixed. Just, you know, wise. Okay, so that's that. And once the mobile is at an acceptable number, like 90 or above, then, you know, I've fulfilled my obligations, and the rest is just the cherry on top. And I will put a very nice cherry on top, because, well, first of all, this is going to go in my website. This is going to go in Web Launch Academy's portfolio. So, you know, you better believe I'm not going to leave a site unfinished or something that looks bad to a potential next client. So obviously, I'm going to do that. And I have in the contract that I will display the site in my website as part of my portfolio, or at least I should have that in the contract. If I don't, I'll put that in the contract, make sure it's in there, because Yeah, I mean, I actually have in the contract, there's going to be a badge for Web Launch Academy in the CFB Church site. And that badge will link to my site. And whoever clicks on that badge, they will be a referral. So if they buy anything from me, then the church or anyone with that link will get a piece of what they bought just for having that link in there. So that is that's just an added bonus. Okay, so we're just waiting for Claude. It's got to compact the conversation. We've been talking for too long. So here you can see all the updated deployments. So actually I'll what I will do is give this to give that as an email. What's the yeah, cfbchurch.net. Yeah, it looks really good. Looks like a good site, basically. Just got to make sure the mobile build is good. Performance fixes. Can also re-trigger a deploy. But let's see. Yeah, NetLifey is fine. You're not going to lose any like performance really with NetLifey. It might be like a little bit, I don't know, it might be a little bit worse in some areas. I'm not really sure, but it's not really going to be like nobody is going to really notice. It's like, you still have the Next.js stack. It's all, it's all very. Here's a Lighthouse plugin that you can do right for, I wonder if I can do this. Let's see, is this it's really cool. Celebrated fudge deploys from GitHub. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. Okay, it's one of these. So that's cool. I've never done these. I've never connected with a plugin before, so let's see. Once we push, it should trigger a redeploy, and then that will give us a good idea. What in the world is going on? Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's try this again on mobile. Analyze the page. Much better. Okay. So, good performance. Still having this problem in multiple areas. View location map. This is the learn more about our ministries. View location map. Yeah, this could be maybe a darker color. Rounded logo. Okay, so contact. Yeah, this is. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if that's really that big of a deal. I can see that just fine. I don't know. I mean, some of these are just kind of ridiculous. Like, best practices. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Like, the biggest thing is that, like, does it load quickly? And I can actually test it on my phone right now. So we can go to celebrated fudge. $17.99 A6 .netlifey.app .app. Okay. Yeah, I can tell you it looks pretty good on my phone. I can actually it loaded very quickly. Let me Okay, so I just realized I was not talking to anybody. So basically, I was saying there's a problem with the mobile view because there's that gap when you can actually accidentally swipe one way and it will reveal what looks like unfinished, like an unfinished section of the website all the way to the right. And what is happening there is that um, the navigation links are being smushed in, and so it has to give more room to that final navigation link, call us, and also like part of the contact link. And it's not able to do it. It's a little bit of a bug there. So what I did was I just told Claude, hey, the navigation links I think are being overcrowded in there. Can you fix that? And so hopefully it will do that. It committed and pushed the changes. So now hopefully that will go through. That will go through very soon, hopefully. Because yeah, we don't want to give a bad first impression to anybody who views it on a mobile device. That'll be not good. And what I can do is just make sure this goes through. So this deploy, okay, so that was there we go. That's better. Okay, so that now it fixed it. So I will show you in this view here. So you've got that, and now see the navigation buttons are in there. So now they're not overcrowded. There's no swiping left or right. It's a very minimal swipe that you can do, and that's not really a big deal. It's just like it's a little nudge of the screen, which I could even fix that as well, but it's not really a big deal. And so when you press that navigation link there, that's what shows up. That's a nice little, I think they call that the hamburger menu, so that you can just do that and then you can select your little navigation links. So that's how you fix that. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good on phone as well. So very, very good. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so that'll be the end of this one. We were successfully able to put it online, accessible to everybody. The rest is it's really just like adding the correct events and ministries and making sure all that goes and is appropriately fetched by the website from Airtable, and then also, well, the contact information is that's already working according to the test. So what we'll do actually before we end, I will make sure that it's correctly going through even on NetLifey. Oh, okay. So that's actually a problem. So that is, I guess that's not that big of a problem. But I'll actually put that in there. So in the contact us form, yeah, in the contact page. So in these page, it's hard to see the example. What is it? The examples. So there's still a bit. There's still a bit of a. Let's see. Of extra home page of the mobile view. Things are much better, but you can still swipe left and nudge the page a little bit. Can you fix these issues? Let's see, I'll just do this. Okay, this should work. This should be pretty easy. Should be easy for Claude to fix. So, once that goes through, we'll just end this stream. I think we've done, a good amount. Navigation buttons have left, right. Oh, the navigation buttons extend to the edges. That's why. Yeah, I did notice that those buttons were a little bit weird. Okay. Issues fixed. Now. Okay, that was fine though. Let me just see. Message testing. Oh, yeah, that's. What in the world? Why is that so hard to see? Okay, well, thank you for reaching out. Wow, that was quick. And then that's quick. Okay. So that's good. that all works at least. We just have to make sure that it shows up. Yeah, so it's still uploading, and you can actually see. Okay, so yep, it's published. So that's better. Okay, test. Oops, the message in there is not showing up correctly. Okay, okay, I ran a test through the contact form. It passes to Airtable with no issue. But while I'm typing in the message area, the text doesn't show. I think the text in there is white or very light. Alrighty, so it's funny, like, yeah, same with that, same with the phone number. Actually, same with all the input areas. Yeah. All the input fields do that. The text isn't visible while typing. Yeah. That's very strange. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that's. That shouldn't have been an issue. Really shouldn't have been. It's funny, it doesn't have an issue with like this, even though it's like so close to that light area, but it has an issue with this. So we'll probably maybe figure something out with that. It's not a big deal. You can still see this stuff, but make sure it's a little bit better. Yeah, I'll make sure like everything is at 100, especially in the desktop view. There's no reason not to get all of that to 100, and that way it'll just, it'll be a work that I can be proud of and that the church will be happy with. So, but that's it for today. You know, problems with Vercel, unfortunately, but we always have a backup. So that's the nice thing about owning your own code. You're not you're not locked into any particular host. If one doesn't work for whatever reason, if it's too expensive or if it just simply doesn't work, if it just simply doesn't allow you to have an account, it's very, very quick to set up in NetLifey, for instance. I mean, you saw how quick it was. I didn't even have an account with the particular email that I had, and all of that was just very quick. Setting up the account, going into here, even like not even knowing where the environment variables were. I remembered, how to do it, how to deploy it, environment variables working, boom, very quick. I think the whole process, once I started in NetLifey was what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, and so that's the power of having total control of your over your website code. If you say, you know what, this service isn't working for me, I'm just going to go to another one. Totally fine. And because NetLifey has a generous free tier as well as Vercel, you can choose between the two of them, or maybe neither of them. maybe one day none of these will work, and then you have to go to a different one. But no matter what, you're not stuck. So that's what's cool. In fact, as I'm recording this, this is Tuesday, but yesterday was Cyber Monday, and you had a massive, massive problem. I saw all of these people complaining, oh my goodness, my Shopify account is down. I can't sell anything. I can't fulfill orders, all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, especially when there's high traffic. When there's a lot of traffic bombarding a particular site or a host, you can lose service. I mean, it's Shopify is the best of the best, and yet they had a massive fumble on Cyber Monday, like the most important day for e-commerce and all that stuff going through. They totally fumbled it, and so if any of those people had their own code, they could have done exactly what I did here, right? They could have been on Vercel, been like experiencing the same issues, and said, you know what, it's not really working on Vercel. For some reason, Vercel is down. Let me create a backup project on NetLifey and just have it go through there. And they could have fixed their thing in like 15 minutes and been completely, they could have had complete control over the situation rather than waiting on probably an over pressurized IT staff in Shopify. And like this is the thing. You can have complete control. I know it takes a little bit more knowledge to do it this way, but you recognize the problem, and it takes literally 15 minutes if you can figure it out. So, that's the lesson. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, if you did. If I'm just talking to myself, that's a lot of fun, too. All right. Have a good one.